Hello. How y'all doing on this Tuesday? Y'all, we back at it.
Indeed.
We was off last week. That was my fault. Sorry. So we were off last week, but we here today. All is well. Okay, so we're about to get into some things. Shay, I am about to text you. So I want you to check your phone real quick.
Yes, ma'am.
But y'all, we about to get into it, and y'all already know what it is about. We're going to talk about how Martell is back at the bullcrap again. Lexi goes over there to tell her tea, or maybe should I say the Fletcher's tea? How about that? She goes to tell the Fletcher's tea. We also going to talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta and how the shakeup has definitely became a shakedown, and maybe a little piece of the Married to Medicine if time permits. Okay. All right, you guys. So we're about to get into it. So y'all know what we like to do. We like to wait till the 5-minute mark, get Mr. YouTube do his thing. And while YouTube doing this thing, I want y'all to do y'all thing. I want y'all to get down in these comments. Let us know who we talking to. Hit the like button. Share it out. Easy stuff. It's super easy.
Indeed.
And it's free. Like it ain't no effort. It's nothing at all. If you're not following, I mean, what are you doing? What are you doing? Follow my girl Shay Renee. Follow me. What are we doing if you're not following us? Okay. So Shay,
yes,
girl, what's going on? How are you feeling? What we doing?
Girl, listen. I done told the peoples last week. I said, when me and Sean don't go live, it just throw my whole week off.
It do. You right. It really does.
Little thing off. You know, that was for good. It's for a good cause and things. So I said, I got things to do anyway. Let me go ahead and get the things to do done.
Okay.
So there's that. So, but I have noticed that Real Housewives of Potomac, which we probably not we're gonna talk about. I don't want to review it. It's dumb. Sweet Tea is not sweet. She is cussed.
Sweet Tea is giving. She's still in preschool. She ain't graduated yet.
Yeah, it's a sour tea.
Yeah.
We'll probably talk about that a little bit with Married to Medicine, but I just can't get over her telling Dr. Jackie F you. Like, wow.
It was so uncalled for. Like, yeah. I didn't get that either. It's giving, girl, this is some misdirect anger, and I don't get it, you know. But we're about to get into it. Shout out to the people that's here. Y'all go ahead and hit the like button. We're going to go ahead and get started. Let's shout out the people we have. What's up to Demi Bell? She said, hey, ladies. Angie B is in the building. Justine, how are you? The cut and paste Tisha, I like that. What's up? How are you? Good evening, ladies. Demi said, you ladies are looking amazing. All right, now.
Thank you.
We sure gonna take it.
All day.
Demi also said Sweet Tea was left out too long on the corner. Oh,
not on the corner, honey.
and now sour for sure. Yeah, definitely Sweet Tea is giving a lot. So we talking about Sweet Tea. Let's go ahead and jump right on into it with Married to Medicine. So
Okay.
I can be really, really quick about this. Married to Medicine really was just about Curtis, because Curtis was supposed to love me, okay? And this was given, Curtis did not want to come down here to the people to talk about his indiscretions, what he did and got caught with that lady. And he said, I don't want no parts. And Heavenly was being a good friend, or the pit bull, what they like to call her mouthpiece. And the ladies did not like it. So let me say this. When it comes down to Heavenly, I know Heavenly is a lot. I know Heavenly does a lot. So I think it's really easy to put a lot of stuff on Heavenly. In this situation, I'm mad at Heavenly for wanting to support her friend in something. When Simone, who liked to say, oh, my friend of 20 years, when you heard your friend crying on the phone, you should have known it was an indication then.
Right.
So for me to, you like to throw out my friend of 20 plus years, why would you do this?
Here's my
What's your thoughts with the Simone situation?
it was brought out that production was the one that set the trip up, and they made it seem like Simone was the one that kind of piggybacked this whole thing. But me, as a self-proclaimed very good friend, I wouldn't be having any of this stuff. Okay. Actually, it's not self-proclaimed, it's stamped by my friends. But anyway, you, even production, if production had have said to me, oh, we going so and so place, I would have been like, yeah, we're gonna go somewhere else.
Well,
Like, anyway, why are we going here? Y'all know y'all being messy. You
no.
absolutely are being messy, and you're not about to make this my trip. You need to make this somebody else's trip, not mine.
And on top of that, I actually feel like when Dr. Jackie and Dr. Heavily came, of course, with their husbands, and they're sitting at the table, to me, Dr. Heavily was speaking in codes like, girl, I called you, I told you
Mm-hmm.
that we shouldn't go here, and you still made the trip.
Yeah.
Took that as Jackie has talked about this. Jackie have let you know that this is a sore spot, and you still decided to go forth with the trip. And then for Simone to go, I'm not talking to you. And even Dr. Heavily made it known, like, I don't feel like he was being malicious. Dr. Heavily said that off the front. She said it. So
Yeah.
for it to be taken like, Dr. Heavily is always the one who started mess, that is true. In this case, I don't know. I think it was more of because Dr. Heavily, in my opinion, her and Jackie really have a real friendship. Everybody else are just co-workers.
I feel like with Dr. Jackie, I listen. Kudos to Dr. Heavenly. I love the fact that Heavenly goes hard for her friends. I
Mm-hmm.
can appreciate that because I am a bit of Dr. Heavenly when it comes to my friends, but I'm also a lot of Dr. Heavenly where my friends, sometimes certain ones, they don't go to bat for me the same way I would do for them. And that's why certain
Mm-hmm.
relationships have changed for me as I've gotten older. And that can be hurtful. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and I will hate to see when Dr. Heavenly really realizes that they're not having a meeting of the minds, because Dr. Jackie does not stand up for Heavenly the way that Heavenly bulldozes for her.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to address Angie B. She says, I'm not mad at Sweet Tea because no one challenges Dr. Jackie. Listen, Angie B. Okay. I ain't mad at her either. But let me tell you why I am slightly annoyed with her.
Mm-hmm.
It is okay to challenge Dr. Jackie.
Mm-hmm.
I want somebody to challenge her old ass too. But what you're not about to do is say fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you just look immature. You look
Right.
dumb. You know what I mean? And there's a fine line between challenging somebody and looking like
Mm-hmm.
you are mentally challenged. Like
And
you are
I agree.
mentally challenged. And like Sweet Tea from what I've seen from her on this show, she is not emotionally mature. She go off. She's Kandi 2.0. I'm gonna go up, blow up on your ass. Like I could just see her saying that. But you just Kandi blows up on people when there's a build up.
Right.
Like you messing with her. Sweet Tea just get angry and thinks that you're like throwing a tantrum like a little child, and then what you want them to do. Girl, grow up. Grow up like now. So yeah.
So somebody says, how I see it TV. I'm not mad at Sweet Tea, and Jackie isn't above a FU and a B. Sometimes some people behavior towards you deserves just that. Now here's the thing. This is my thoughts when it comes to reality TV. Y'all know how I feel. Everybody can get the smoke because that's what I do over here on the chat. But everybody get the smoke. So I'm not mad at what you're saying. What I think like what Fred is saying, is misplaced anger. You're going off on her for something that you was never a part of. Baby, you just got here 2 seconds ago. Let's start there. So you're wanting her to get in the hot seat for something that you were never a part of. Were you even born at the time, ma'am? Okay. So have you even graduated high school at the time when her curse was having this going on? So it's misplaced anger. You're saying that, and I'm not mad at her for saying what I feel like is you being contradictory. I'm not mad at Sweet Tea for saying that. But Dr. Jackie didn't say anything to her for her to say,
Right.
you be. It was misplaced. And then for you to go and cry to your husband and say, oh, it's hard being in this group because all you do is talk about your ex. Okay, so you mad at the fact that they're constantly talking about Quad, or you mad at the fact that they're talking about you? Which one is it? Because you're telling them one thing in the front, but when you're talking to your husband, it's really about and behind Quad. And friend, please tell me, what would you think was going to happen? You come into a group that were friends with all of these ladies.
Period. So here's I'm gonna backtrack ever so slightly. You call her a B and FU and all this, that, and the third because you're talking about when Jackie said to you, oh, such and such, when Quad did XYZ. Now, if you had because they replayed a scene where Jackie apparently at the her bachelorette party asked her something about whether the man downstairs was gonna come upstairs, something like that. Y'all know. Yeah, that's when you should have said F you and called her a bitch.
Right.
That's when you should have said it because that's when it would have made sense. You hold on to that, and then now you want to say that to her when they're somewhere where her husband cheated on her and it was documented, and he was like street walking this bitch, taking her on trips and shit. This is what you want to talk about it. It just doesn't. Again, Jackie ain't above a bitch or F. Okay, because Jackie does give me the old lady give me respect. I'm old and I can say what I type of deal. And it's like, Jackie, actually you can't do and you actually need to have something to talk about on this show, because if I see BB Judy and the brat one more time at an appointment, like story. And Curtis, you shut up because you the one cheated. So
and you put her in this situation.
You trying to make it. It's almost like he was making it about her, like about him, like mean to Jackie. Like, you're putting me in a position where I have to deal with this again. Oh no, baby, you put me to be in it in the first place. So you accept accountability for what you did. Hold your head up high. If y'all have moved on from it, if y'all are so hunky-dory at this point, go on a trip and act like, oh, well, we can go wherever because we good wherever we at.
I agree. And I want to say this part too when it comes to Dr. Heavily. Everybody gave her the smoke when it was really Curtis at the end of the day.
Right.
And I don't understand that either. Why y'all going so hard on Dr. Heavily for something Curtis said he did not want to do? Those were Curtis' words.
Right.
Even when she spoke to Simone, she said, if Curtis don't feel comfortable, I'm not coming.
Exactly.
Y'all mad at her for what though?
They don't even know.
What in this point, like I said, Heaven start a lot of bull crap. In this sense, y'all, all this is with a lot of misplaced anger. But I think it's easy to throw everything on Dr. Heavenly because we know how Dr. Heavenly really is. So it's just easy for her to take the brunt of it. And to also go to this comment that I have pulled up that, they can joke about Dr. G's, but they can't talk about Curtis. And again, I don't feel like Dr. Jackie is above reproach, but I do feel like if this makes sense and if it's not hypocritical, y'all can definitely tell me in the comments. I'm okay. Tell me what y'all think. But who wants to talk about something that happened 7 years ago or 7 days ago?
Right.
And Dr. G was 7 days ago. I don't know if we're over a point where we're past this and this just happened yesterday.
Listen, I think that at this point, the ladies are noticing that Jackie is not getting any smoke, and she just kind of coasting along, and they don't like it. So
Yeah.
that's why they are trying to come for her in the least bit. They're like, girl, participate, earn your check. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we over here and we done ousted Quad. We done brought Phaedra into the group, and she ain't
Mm-hmm.
in the way that we thought that she would. She ain't
No.
giving. So we can't have two people riding our backs the entire season. Like, we got to have something going on.
Mm-hmm.
And Heavenly can't do all the work by herself.
She can't.
So,
I agree.
Simone is so far up Toya's ass, which I don't know why. And here, Brown beating her husband up emotionally just to get some attention, in my opinion. And I'm just like, that's not entertaining for me. I don't want to see you complaining about him not planning these extravagant dates after this man done worked all day, but you can't even. He asked you about planning a date for him, and you can't do it. It's
Right.
all you. I don't want to see that. So,
Yeah.
Jackie, participate. That's what you do. And if it's gonna hurt your little feelings to talk about your little husband infidelity again, so what? You on TV, earn your check.
And I think it is, and I agree with that. I think Jackie, you're gonna have to issue get off the pot. And
Right.
that's gonna be at the situation. Y'all gonna have to have the conversation. And I get, maybe not trying to still accuse him of doing something, even though I'm with you, Angie. I think he's still cheating too. However, I'm with you, Angie. However, I think there's nothing wrong with having a conversation. And one thing I will give Toya, believe it or not, one thing I will give Toya is I don't feel like they're that important for them to still be thinking that, oh, when we see Curtis, we're gonna bring up what happened when he did something 7 years ago. So I actually do agree with Toya in that situation, but really know why, in my opinion, this just me when it comes to Sweet Tea, why you was just that invested in something that you were not in the group for, you did not see it, it could, and then for you to have to go back and tuck your tail again and apologize for your behavior. You embarrassed your husband. Even he was like, hold up, baby, that's harsh. You
Mm-hmm.
calls for it. Like, how do we go from this to that so quick? So
Her hormones are all over the place with
all
all.
over the place. Yeah.
But you have to learn how to mentally control yourself. Like,
Yeah.
your body may be telling your emotions are like, because there'll be some days where I'll be like, girl, why am I angry? Like, I will feel inside that I'm angry, but
Yeah.
I'm not really mad about nothing. Why am
Yeah.
I? And then I was just like, this is the day that the Lord has made for me to sit in the corner and be quiet. That's what I need.
Okay.
Because if I go, I'm gonna blow up on somebody for no reason, and I don't need to know why I'm mad. So I feel like as women, we get emotional sometimes, like,
Yeah.
especially around your cycle, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You guys to learn how to control that. And
Yeah.
Sweet Tea is just a Bama. She just she doing the
Yeah.
most. She
And
do.
I think she could have gave her the tea without using that language. That's my
Exactly.
thing. There was nothing wrong with saying, girl, you gotta be a little hypocritical up around up and through that. You
Exactly.
know, there was nothing wrong with challenging her. I think, and for CTV, I think the biggest thing is that she wasn't wrong for challenging her. I think she was wrong for the FUB because it came so out of left field. If I'm talking to you calmly, I ain't said nothing, that's crazy to you, girl. I just got here. Can I take my shoes off? Can I take my purse and put it down? And
Right.
you and I already called me, said F you, and you called me a bitch. Wait a minute, hold on. How did we get here?
Exactly.
You don't even know me like that. We ain't even been having enough skin in the game for you to feel like we can do this. And
Hmm.
I feel like, you're gonna be another quad, baby, because they're gonna boot you off the show and you're gonna be on the island on your own. The reality of it is people are not gonna go up against Dr. Jackie.
And I don't know why, but that's very
They're
true.
not gonna go up against her.
She's not. I mean, you really look at it. I look at it like, what is she bringing to the show? Like,
No.
I really know.
Mm-hmm.
Bringing. It's not like she brings balance where like she's talking to the ladies and
Not
you
anymore, because she used to.
yeah, but this season she's just coasting along.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm finally seeing her have some daggone emotion. I get it. You're an OBGYN. You're amazing at your job. Blah blah blah. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about that 24/7 on the show. This is a reality TV show.
Yeah.
But and I don't like how she was very I get that I like that she checked Sweet Tea.
Mm-hmm.
But you saying, "Oh, I have to stand up for myself every day, or I put my life on the line every day." Something she said every day when
In the
I'm,
hot seat. How she in the hot seat.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
every day when I'm delivering babies, when I'm delivering. I have to tell people about cancer diagnosis and this and that. All right, girl. All right.
Now, I will say this: what I think is interesting when it comes to Dr. Jackie, and I'm not mad at them for checking her. I do feel like she is very condescending when she talks.
Oh yeah.
And when she spoke, and maybe that's what set her off. Let's just be fair. Maybe let's just say that set her off. Because even Dr. What's Toy's husband name?
Eugene.
Eugene. Even Dr. Eugene was like, but she don't have to call her sweet baby or whatever it was that she called her. And that
Hmm.
is condescending because in so many words you are calling her a little girl.
Right.
But on the flip side, I'm mad because you acted like a little girl. I don't know. I'm tossed up in the air about it. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Y'all tell me.
Sweet Tea is a hot mess. That's what she is. And she keeps on talking about her age up against all the other women. Your age doesn't have anything to do with you having some,
Yeah.
like you're 34. You're old enough to know how to act. You know what I mean? I'm 30.
Mm-hmm.
We're only 4 years apart at this point. I'll be 39 in July. But I'm not about to say, I know how to act around people.
Thank you.
It's this is a age old saying in sales. It's called mirroring the customer. Mirror the people that are around you, and you don't see none of them acting like that. This ain't love and hip hop. What is wrong with you?
So CTV said, listen, as a psychology student, that soft condescending tone is a platform for gaslighting someone because Jackie was being rude and dismissive, but Sweetie is more wrong because she yelled FUB. I don't think it's okay. We're gonna say this. I think it is a more wrong situation. Do I feel like Jackie is innocent? No, because we actually just said that. So this comment's actually right on point. Where I did think that she definitely had a condescending tone. However, I think at our big age, you could have gave her that same condescending tone and be like, "Well, all right, Miss Ma'am, not you being a hypocrite. All right, Miss Ma'am, not you calling the pot. Look at the pot, calling the kettle black. Well, look at that. I feel like you could have gave her that same energy, but you standing up, hollering.
Yeah,
You're so erratic and everything.
it didn't fit. It just didn't. Like it's not even. it's not even like Jackie remotely said anything over the top. You know what I mean? Like she wasn't even really talking to you for real.
And
And
that's another thing. Thank you for saying that. That was my
yeah,
next point.
yeah, you like inserted yourself into a conversation with her. She wasn't engaging you. You wanted a moment. That was a moment for you, and it fell flat. Nobody was really checking for your moment, and even your husband was embarrassed.
Yeah.
The reality is that's just like if you at work and your boss has a certain tone, but you know everything they saying is full of shit. You ain't
Mm-hmm.
gonna roll up and be like, "Well, fuck you, motherfucker. I want a raise." You're not gonna do that.
Right.
You have a conversation with them like you level headed and be like, "Listen, I don't agree with what you just said or whatever, but here's
Mm-hmm.
it." You're not gonna. I listen. I ain't no psychobabble gonna tell me. I mean, gonna reassure that Jackie should have elevated to Sweet Tea's level because
Mm-hmm.
they made the no. When somebody else acting like a fool, you let them act like a damn
Let's
fool.
do it by themselves. Mm-hmm.
You agree, however, that Jackie was being condescending, absolutely. But to for get elevated like Sweet Tea, it just wouldn't have made any sense. And it's not. It's so far out of Jackie's character.
Mm-hmm. And I don't think Jackie would ever let herself get out of character because I think it actually made it worse for Sweet Tea
Yeah.
in a way of you allowed yourself to look like a fool on national television. Not the first time, not the second time. Here you are the third time. Caught on Kandi camera, cutting up yet again. And I'm gonna read this one real quick, and we're gonna move on. Dr. Heavily made it seem like Sweet Tea had a breakdown at the reunion. I don't feel like that is far off, and we're seeing her have several breakdowns on this show. And let me say this about Sweet Tea. I'm gonna be honest, even though I'm giving her the smoke, I don't feel like she's bad for TV. I'm not mad at her for shaking the table, having some of the conversations that a lot of ladies just kind of sweep up under the rug. Like we said, checking Dr. Jackie. However, I do feel like if you're going to be on the show and come into a group that are was or still is friends with your husband's ex-wife, baby, you're gonna have to get some thick skin.
Right.
You're gonna have to get some thick skin. You are moved in their old marital home. At some point, you're going to have to know that some of these things going to have to come. Should it happen every time they come into contact with Sweet Tea? No, I'm with Sweet Tea on it. You ain't got to bring this heifer game up every time I see you. I ain't her saying that, but you also got to realize, you came to be on a reality TV show, baby. You know they're gonna be messy, and you know that you're entering into a group with
Mm,
the women
right.
that our friends was friends or is friends with your husband's ex-wife. Get some thick skin, girl.
Period.
You can't cry and have a temper tantrum every time something doesn't go your way. And you want to be the first one to cry and, oh, Mo, it's me. Come on. You got to thicken up, boo. Come on.
She about to be renamed Baby T because you acting like a damn baby.
It is. She's gonna have to grow up. And let me say this. I think that she had a great point. What's up, Lee? By saying using FUB shows her lack of intelligence and lack of words. I agree. Because y'all know I'm sorry, but I read you down and I got to say not now, 3 letter, 4 letter word.
Yep.
You could do it. It's easily to be done. And I'm not saying anything about people who do it because it does give an extra finesse. We know extra stank on it. And it makes it read sound a little bit like, because when my friend reads them, I'm living. I'm living for it. I'm living for it, right? So, girl, she can get it together. Last out.
I think that there's a certain level of intelligence that she is definitely lacking. And,
Mm-hmm.
for you to be able to counter somebody without having to cuss them out is definitely a highly skilled deal. And she just showed how poor her vocabulary is by jumping out the gate with a FUB,
Mm-hmm.
elevated of a situation. They weren't even yelling at each other. Jackie was sitting there listening to her like she had her bedside manner mood on.
Literally. Mm-hmm.
It wasn't worth it. And even for the fact that your husband even said, listen, I ain't checking for this. Okay.
Right.
No, we 50 years apart, but damn.
Literally.
Okay. And Eugene, I learned that this man is messy as hell. He is here for the mess because he seemed like he was happy that she was cussing Jackie ass out like that.
But that's what the lady, that's why Quad called him, what she called him? Eugina?
Mm-hmm.
Because he stayed in the women's mess.
Child.
He's in it.
Well,
So
that's
there we have it. But we are in agreement. Dr. Jackie is not above reproach. She's not above getting checked. But we also got to lean on the side of, baby girl, you was doing too much. Let's bring it down a couple of notches.
period.
Just a couple.
Period.
All right, you guys. So shout out to that. Y'all sounding off about this. I love it. Let's move on. So we're gonna get into the Real Housewives of Atlanta and how the shake up is shaking. So by now, y'all already know, y'all done heard that Miss Kandi, Miss Atlanta herself, has decided to walk away from Real Housewives of Atlanta. Now she made her announcements on the, as I say, the green carpet. Where green come from, girl? I don't know. On the red carpet at the Grammys, and
I think we should Simona heavily because like Salazar does it diminishing
we
return.
both went in on that coming at the
So let me say this because listen, I will say a good curse word. I loves to say me a good curse word. Y'all know that, and everybody that know and loves me and my channel, you knows that me. I loves a good cuss word. Okay, I'm gonna say it, and I'm very intelligent. Let's be very clear. Okay, your girl has had accolades all my life, but I will cuss your ass out. Okay, I will, and take pride in doing it. I'm not saying, and here's the thing, like I said earlier, I would not mind if Sweet Tea said F you at her bridal shower, where Jen initially brought up the person, the infidelity and the person coming up from downstairs and all. I'm like, bitch, who the fuck is you talking to? Like, I don't want to cuss that ass out.
Right.
So let's be clear.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody above this fuck. Okay? Because I don't. All right. So yeah. I agree. Simona heavily do cuss like sailors, and that doesn't diminish their intelligence because it don't diminish mine. There's that.
I agree.
In that situation, it was just too much. It was just like, girl, what? It didn't fit. That's all. It didn't fit.
It didn't. It didn't. It wasn't cause for. But yeah. So moving on. And she's decided to move on too. Now, let know you haven't missed the Martell breakdown. Yo, we gonna save him for last, child. Cause who child? I know we gotta get him a lot. Save him for last, y'all. So hold on, just hold on a little while longer, but we gonna get there. But yeah, she decided to walk away. She made the announcement on the red carpet on Sunday when she was at the Grammys, and she stated how she kept stating over and over again how a friend asked her, why you keep coming back? She goes on to say that it was actually down to contract negotiations. You know, it was one thing that she did not that they did not see eye to eye on. So because of that, boom and bam, she thought that it was time for her to walk away. Now, y'all know where I stand with Miss Kandi Buruss. Y'all know how I feel about Miss Kandi. Let me say this, for somebody definitely jumped in the comments on yesterday and was like, "Oh, we know you don't like Kandi." I'm like, I've said 10 times over that I have no problem with Kandi. I don't know this lady not to like her. Let me make that known yet one more again. Okay. Now, with that being said, I'm going to stand by what I said. I'm standing on business with this. It's time for her to exit stage left. Point blank. Period. The end. She have exhausted her storyline, and I said when the show wrapped up. Now I'm gonna tell you, Fred. This is my thoughts. Tell me what you think. I said when the show wrapped up, her barely being at the upper, their last season was gonna come back and bite her in her butt, and I think it did just that. And this is my thought. Now I ain't saying this actual and factual, and I ain't saying my words dipped in gold, but this is my personal opinion, and I said this on my live the other day. I feel like they gave her the Nene treatment or the lady from Orange County treatment. Whereas I'm only gonna give you 8 to 9 episodes, girl, that's all you get. Or they gonna reduce you down to a friend, or girl, we finna bring Faye back.
Child, not bringing Phaedra back, honey.
I feel like it was one of those three things. Because, and here's what I'm also thinking too. I also feel like it's almost one of them things you think you that girl until it's time for her to be that girl. And
Right.
because she ran the show so long and kind of having her way in certain things, I feel like she thought that they was going to bend. And the fact that they didn't come to her agreements and demands lets me know that they was okay with it was nice working with you. We will see you later.
Well, I will say this. I think that I agree with you. I think it was time for her to go ahead and exit stage left. And I think that it's because at this point, the show has evolved into something that doesn't serve her. It has become a let's try to take Kandi down
Mm-hmm.
every season. And it's like, Kandi is really what the housewives represents. She
Mm-hmm.
has the money, she has the glitz, the glam, and all that. None of these women had any of that.
Correct.
Really, the only one that was the epitome of what Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Miami, all these other shows exemplify. This on Atlanta, all we do is see them cussing each other out and going to dinner.
That's it.
That's it. The show has evolved into minutia. So yeah,
It evolved to love and hip hop.
exactly. And
That's
it's
what
like,
it turned into.
and I love to see some. And trust me, I love a good read here and there. Trust me,
Mm-hmm.
I love seeing somebody get read down to the ground. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but what you're not gonna do is make that about the whole thing. Like all of y'all trying to just make people look bad. Like the same thing with Potomac, which we'll get into.
Yep.
Every is just trying to dig up dirt on somebody and
Yep.
trying to come for somebody. Why there got to be the element of disaster for the black shows?
And
And
I agree with that. I agree.
yeah, Atlanta was the show that was holding all of these other shows up. The
Mm-hmm.
posture of let's watch. This is what's out here for us to see. But I think that this is good for Kandi. I think that they let Kandi sit too long. And Kandi was like, listen, yeah, y'all pay me over $2 million to do this show, but like I'm not about to sit around and wait and see when y'all gonna give me this money. And I got things to do. I got bills to pay. And I am going to take these other offers because what y'all not about to do is say, oh, Kandi doesn't show up during the season. And I have other things going on that I've accepted because y'all took too long to say when the season was going to actually start. And I think that was strategic on Bravo's part. I think Bravo didn't want to fire her. I think they didn't want to downgrade her. But they did that knowing how hardworking she is and that they kind of, I think they kind of fused her out of there, if you smoked her out, if you will. And last point I'll make, Carlos King did a live on it, and Carlos never talks about Kandi because of
Mm-hmm.
that whole escape thing. But for him to come out and confirm that they actually did offer Kandi a contract, she was not going to get fired, and that she made this decision on her own, and he actually thinks it's a great idea that she did that, speaks volumes.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Good for Kandi. going out, she's going out with her head held high in a positive nature. She don't need to sit on screen with Marlo low rating herself and people activating her and getting her all angry for no damn reason.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. Now, let's take the table. Let me ask the question. Now, we talked not last week, but the week before last, I think I did a video because Kandi was on her Amazon Live.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody asked her about what's going on with RHOA. Her response was, we don't know. They need to hurry up. I have stuff to do. Wop, wop, wop. These are her words. My question is, what happened from what you said 2 weeks ago to what you're saying now on Sunday? Did you get 15 new projects in 2 weeks? What happened? Because it almost seemed like you were sitting around waiting for them.
Here's what I will say. I feel like it doesn't really have to be where she was sitting on 15 projects or whatever. It's more of, okay, acting. If I'm going to be doing a role for something, like when she, like her recording The Shy, or her attending different things or whatever. Movies. Kandi has started. She's always said she went to school to be an actress or whatever. Like she's always said that that's really her passion. That's what she really wants to do. And I think that she has been in a space of, this is just what I've always done. I'm going through the motion. This has been a part of my life for 14 years. Now she's looking at it like, okay, y'all are taking forever. Again, last year y'all said I was barely here because I'm doing this and I'm doing that. Her group, you know, they're out here singing again. She's making the money. So this check for $2 million was a cute, easy check to make. But now I can actually make this and plus some for things that I actually am interested in and I want to do. And I don't have to sit around that I don't really fuck with and earn a quick check for 4 weeks of work or 2 months of work or whatever, however long it takes them. But I can be less stressed.
Yeah.
I go for that all day long. And even if it's 2 offers, those 2 offers ran through the time of production. Those 2 offers are still things that she would much rather be doing than it was really at the end of the day all about the bag. And now she's going for the bag and her passion.
Yeah. I actually do think that that's why I was always on the side of, I think she should have just left without her hand being forced. Do that
Right.
make sense? I think that I wish that would have just been her decision from the beginning. Because
But
now it's giving,
I
like
don't
you said, I don't want to fire you. So how we gonna fix this so it won't look like we did you like a charade, or we did you like a whoever else that's gone and they came back. I wish that she just would have made that decision already and be like, look, I want to get more. She said she want to be an EGOT. I'm here for her, all of the things that she wants to accomplish. And I would have rather her say just that. Hey, I want to focus on this. This is my goal. I've been doing this for 14 years. I thank y'all. I'm going to put a pause on it and ask to come back to y'all maybe next year or 2 years from now. It is definitely given, like what you're saying, they just didn't want to fire her outright. So they kind of had to, let's sit, let's push it out, let's push her out, let's push her out until she made the decision. Like, oh, okay, so how about this contract? And she's like, oh, I kind of don't want to do it no more. It was almost like it was a forced hand.
But you know what? But who's to say that, them semi, and this is just an assumption on my end, them semi trying to force her hand is what really made, because she could have easily said, I'm gonna wait it out and take my contract and go back and do this, because they were obviously going to still give her a contract and pay her the money and keep her on the show. So really, was her hand really being forced at the end of the day? Yes and no. I think she did go out the way that on her own terms, and I can appreciate that. I think that she had some time to sit down and really think about it and be like, you know what? Why do I keep on doing this?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I really need to take this time to focus. You know, people talking about she don't spend enough time with her children, all this and the third. There could have been so many things because she was given that time that she was given to think about why she's doing this could have been a blessing in disguise for her. So, you know, the biggest thing that is amazing for her is that she has options. Kandi is very talented. Kandi can shoot this $2 million from the show. Kandi go write her a little song and make that in a month. You
Mm-hmm.
like she's talented. She's always giving other people a leg up, which I can appreciate about Kandi. She's very humble. Um and this just doesn't serve her anymore. I just think that this is the right way to do it. Go out on your own terms.
I
And
definitely agree with that.
I feel like, you know, honestly, Kandi, this ain't for you unless you want to address the issue Phaedra.
And see, and I think that's another thing. That's why I made that option number 3 as to why they was like, girl, we're not finna do this. We ain't budget, because she made it seem like she was trying to negotiate the contract. These are her words, right? But they just wouldn't budge. They didn't see eye to eye on it. So whatever it was, Bravo or Truly Original was like, no, we're not budging this time. So because of that, I've always been on the side of she has definitely had the happily ever after storyline. And most women, if not all women, don't get that on any of the Real Housewives of Atlanta franchise. Either they divorce or they in jail. Shout
Mm-hmm.
out to Teresa. So it is, for her to actually have the happily ever after, where she's still very much happily married. She don't went from this to that.
Mm-hmm.
I've always felt like it was time for her to leave. Girl, you got the happily ever after. Nobody gets this in reality, period. Let alone the Housewives franchise.
Yeah, and my thing is, I wouldn't allow being on this show over your time, which I feel like everybody has their time. You know, I
Mm-hmm.
left a while ago because now she over there ruining her marriage with Mauricio, not telling him how she really feel and acting like
Mm-hmm.
thinking he's supposed to read her mind and getting dumbass tattoos put all over her body that don't make no fucking sense because she hanging out with that young chick that sings. But whatever, that's a whole nother rant that I'll do on my channel about that. But um you know, Kandi, if she stayed on this show, they're gonna try to create some drama for her and drive her crazy. And
Mm-hmm.
a thing where now, okay, in order for Kandi to be interesting to the audience, she got to be having problems with Todd. I don't want that for her. I think
Mm-hmm.
Todd fit very well. I think Todd know how to check Kandi when she need to be checked, and I think that Kandi knows how to navigate around Todd and his ego. So it's very their relationship is very fluid, and
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't want this show, this $2 million or whatever she's making, to create an issue with them. They can continue to just make more money together and be happy. She can be over there raising her children. Move on.
Yeah.
Like Tiny. Tiny always in the damn news, but they still making money. You'll still be relevant. This show doesn't make Kandi relevant. You
Mm-hmm.
know? I mean,
Yep. I've always been on this side.
it did, but her talent far supersedes what she's done
Right.
on.
I agree. I definitely agree. And yeah, I really do feel like it's the money and the Phaedra thing. I don't know. I don't know. I do feel like it's one or the other, if not both, because we know Faye is definitely back into the Bravo family. And
She back.
well, she's over there married to Benson.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said Nene.
Oh no, Faye.
Yeah, but Phaedra. See, here's the thing. I was reading this too at the same time. Just like they didn't want to fire Nene
Mm-hmm.
out by giving her less money and less episodes. So Nene quit and decided to, unlike Kandi, to burn the bridge. That's what I was reading at. So Phaedra didn't burn a bridge, right? Like Kandi didn't burn a bridge.
Yeah.
Nene decided to burn a bridge. So Phaedra was the one that was saying she didn't want to come back in different, she didn't want to come back on the show. She had options. But I really don't think that she fits on Married to Medicine. I think they need to go on
She does.
over to the Housewives
Yep.
and go from there.
Mm-hmm.
But also Phaedra, she's funny, but she don't want to be truthful. She don't really want to talk about anything. They ask her
Mm-hmm.
questions, she'd be like, yeah. And I'd be like, child.
Say something. Come on out with it.
And what? Like,
Yeah.
what else happened? Yeah, girl, what? What are you?
Mm-hmm.
Boss ain't about to be child. And you
Yeah.
know how fabulous you are. Spending $70,000, which you did not spend $70,000 on that child's birthday party. Let's make that very clear.
That is ridiculous. To
Any
even say that and be okay with it.
a backyard birthday party?
Not the backyard boogie. Y'all know how I feel about a backyard boogie. We not doing this. No, ma'am. No.
Yeah, $70,000 ticket price for that party. And I'd be like, I know you fucking lying. You ain't. You told 70,000 lies when you walked up.
And then, like, girl, have some receipts. But yeah.
But anyway, bring Phaedra back.
Definitely bring Phaedra back.
Portia and Phaedra about to be on their line together because Portia gonna be acting like life is grand with her and Esther Roll over there.
Yep. But I think if Phaedra comes back, that give us the freaking frat combo again. And I think it gives us the conversation because once that whole situation happened, they kind of split ways, and they weren't as close. Like, I think they started back following each other like a couple of years after, but it really did break up everybody. It wasn't just a Kandi and Phaedra thing. It kind of affected everybody.
Well, they had issues because, Portia felt like Phaedra got her in the middle of all that stuff. Yep. And Kandi actually very resourceful for Portia, putting her in her play and all this and the third. And then you got Phaedra over here. I don't care what nobody say. I think Carlos King was the orchestrator behind the scenes of Phaedra coming and making up that lie. Okay. He continues to say that he didn't do that, but in my opinion, I think that he did it. Told her to say that on camera to make up lies to create more ratings on the show. But Phaedra, if that was the case, that was dumb of you because you were very close to Kandi and you sold her up the river. You didn't care about your friendship with her enough to be sitting up there lying on the girl.
Mm-hmm.
More emotional about Portia not wanting to be her friend than Kandi. And Kandi was all the way down to Alabama to come to your damn graduation and supporting you and being there for you and all this, that, and the third. So you didn't value her friendship. And, the reality is Phaedra coming back on this show on Kenya is not going to let her live down the stuff that she did to Kandi. So she's going to have to face it in some capacity. I feel like if Kandi does come back after like a season or two, she's only going to come back after they've already browbeat the hell out of Phaedra over all the stuff that she did to Kandi. Mm-hmm. But that still is not right because Kandi may come back with Phaedra on the show, but still not address the issues. And I just think, I don't know. But anyway, I would like to have Phaedra back on the Housewives, not Married to Medicine.
Yep. I'm in agreement. I think Phaedra should definitely come back. I think Phaedra will be more of herself. She's really quiet over there to Married to Medicine. Yeah. Which y'all understand why. She giving a lot, she doing this. She's not really talking. But I think when she get back over there with her good girls, and she'll have something to talk about. Yeah. And I think she won't mind going up against them and doing what she needs to do and be the faith we know her to be, child. So I don't know why she's playing it so safe over there, but we'll see, child.
It's an established group. You're her coming in as a single woman, right? It's not like she had a real doctor boyfriend that is intermingling with the other doctors and, creating a space for her amongst the wives in that capacity. She's just kind of like being set in the middle of a cast that's already established.
Mm-hmm.
And based upon a premise of being a doctor or a doctor's wife.
Mm-hmm.
Not real. She's a lawyer.
Yeah.
And I don't never see her practicing, but she's a lawyer. Like
Mm-hmm.
different things that have absolutely nothing to do with what they have already established over there. So it's just awkward.
Yeah. Portia said, who said she's coming back? She said, y'all know something she don't know. So yeah, it was definitely put out that they have a contract, her and Kenya, but I guess Portia came back and said that she does not have a contract. I don't know. I feel like Portia may be trolling a little bit.
Mm.
I don't know because how would they have their information?
Girl, people say stuff all the time, but I guess we'll see when the damn cast come out.
We'll see. We will see. And then y'all think that Carlos was behind it. Okay.
Mm.
They said Carlos was behind it. Phaedra is a lawyer. I honestly don't believe she just made that. Zip made that up. Zip think she was told that and being upset with Kandi helping Apollo, and she went with it.
Yep.
Went with it. CK to me is responsible. So, oh, that's what I wanted to say. When you were saying that you think that Phaedra never valued Candy's relationship, I differ with that because I think that they really did have a really close knit friendship and probably really consider themselves sisters. I do feel like the Apollo situation was the breakdown of their
Oh,
relationship. And I don't think that it was so much of she never valued her. I think that she was like, how you choosing him over me? I'm your girl. Forget what Ty and them do. Me and you girls, and you're choosing him over me. And I think that hurt her to the core. And then with Kandi kind of going at her about the decision she was making when it was coming down to Apollo. And then I think the fact that she was doing it on TV, I think it did kind of take Phaedra kind of back a little bit. Like, dang, girl, I thought we was, like, you know better than anybody the conversations we had about, me and my husband off camera, on the phone, when I'm crying to you, and you come on camera and do this. I think that it was some real genuine hurt between Phaedra and Kandi. My opinion.
yeah, and you're
I
right.
think it was real genuine.
Maybe you know what, and I think not valuing the friendship, never valuing the friendship is too much of an infinite term. I shouldn't have said that. I really meant she didn't value the friendship, and that's because of the Apollo situation.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of dipped out, emotionally, because when she came into that garage and saw Apollo shit in it, it was just like, girl, what? This man is trying to take me to hell and back, and people writing books acting like I know what was going on with this whole situation.
Mm-hmm.
About to be turned upside down. I got 2 kids by this man, and you over here basically nurturing his bullshit.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
The fact that the husbands are friends. This your house.
Right.
You are in your money, and you want it now. Todd is here on the strength of whatever you got.
Yep.
So if you had have made enough of a stink about it and said, listen, this ain't what we ain't about to get involved in this stuff.
We need to stay out of it. Tell him to take that stuff somewhere else.
Exactly. And I agreed with Phaedra, honestly. I think
Mm-hmm.
Kandi can be a person to put her foot down and say what she want to say and
Yep.
be in control, but only when it's convenient for her.
Yep. I agree.
Should have been a better friend and been like,
Mm-hmm.
Todd, this ain't where we want to be in. We don't want to be in the middle of this.
Yep. Leave it alone. And I think that's definitely they should have stayed neutral in the situation. Leave it alone. Just be done with it. And I think that it really hurt them. Now, let Kandi tell it, and Carlos both have said that neither one of them were behind. I mean, that Carlos was not behind the rumor,
but yeah.
There's that. All right, you guys, let's move on. So, yeah, this is a great conversation. I'm here for it. So we're going to talk about RHOP, Snooze Fest.
Child.
Snooze Fest. I don't really know where we're going with this season and in the episodes. I was totally lost when they at Happy's Eddie's we party and Karen and the Giant are going at it. Like, you calling her a trick, close your legs and marry me. I think, wait a minute now. From here to what happened in the matter of 2.5 seconds that we got here?
Girl, Mia is really bulldozing for a moment, honey. Like, why? Why are we doing all of this with Karen? And Karen, you are doing the most because first of all, you sat up there and invited them at the last goddamn minute to go to Surrey County. Girl, you can take Surrey and go on. I will drop what I'm doing to come down to bumfuck Virginia with you. You got me
some dirt.
Yeah, girl, what? I'm gonna be like, yeah, sure. I didn't have any. I'd rather be doing anything than this, but I'll drop my anything just to come and hang out with you.
Right.
No, girl, no. And you thought you ate Karen by being a little mean girl, talking about, no, actually you weren't. Yeah, you weren't a first thought. You weren't even a second thought. Yeah, and I invited you and you decided not to come. And I just think that's disrespectful. Karen, you're being disrespectful. And you're mad that she called you out on your shit.
Yeah.
Let's be very clear about that. So, girl, boo and bye to you, Karen. Don't nobody about going to Surrey County. You asked at the last damn minute. The girl has something else to do. Move on. Stop really hanging on this that somebody's not kissing your ass.
Yeah.
You can go on.
She should have did it that way the first time, and it would have gave her more leverage to have an attitude. Invite all the girls, hey, blah, blah, blah. And then for them to say, ain't coming, thank you, next. Now you got a reason to have an attitude. But Miss Ma'am, you were wrong for doing this because you only invited 4 people, whatever, and 3 of them said they weren't coming. So you didn't have no choice but to open it up to the entire group. You had no choice but to do that. So because you wanted somebody there to see this estate you bought, you had to open up. You should have did it that the first time. Chad, I don't know what happened after the Happy Eddie thing. So you got to tell me. I don't know.
So they went.
Oh, no. My last part I saw was Daddy G and Mia at lunch. That was the last thing I saw.
So Mia and Daddy G, he is trying to hold on to her. Hold on for life. He's trying to hold on. Okay.
Well, why?
Like, he do not want to get a divorce. He is 85 years old. He's like, listen, we can just have an arrangement. Okay. Where you can just go out here and sew your royal pussy. And I'll just sit here and take care of the kids. Okay. That's what I'll do. That's what he is constantly pitching for her because he don't want to be alone. And she's
I think you want to start over.
Yeah. She's like, no. I didn't sign up for that. I signed up for an old man with money.
Yep.
Now an old man. I don't, that's not my zhuzh. So I'm going to go over here to this younger man that I really wanted to fuck. And I've probably been fucking him the entire marriage. I'm going to get on out of this. Yeah. I had children by you to secure the funds, but you let your family take the money. Okay. So, yeah. But I don't understand Mia getting mad at him for trying to go through litigation to get the money back from the family. Like, you want the man to have money, right? Tell him that's rightfully his. But then again, she probably thinking like, well, we ain't got that much money for you to be paying these fucking lawyers to be going back. Now I got to pay for that when my RHOP check. And I signed up to take all your money, not for you to use any of mine.
Which I understand how Daddy G was calling the kettle. Baby, you will pot yourself by saying, I don't blame Ashley for staying in this. There was a sweet deal. Sir, what are we talking about? How is it that
Right.
you're trying to make it seem like Mia is any different from Ashley? Both of y'all married y'all elders
Right.
for a bag. What are we doing?
Right.
Like Daddy G, you should have kept that comment to yourself, sir. Like that wasn't necessary. And as far as the money situation goes, I think when it comes down to Mia, girl, you will want to hopefully go about this the legal and right way. How about it? Let's go about this the right way. Let's get this in black and white in some ink. Going forward, you cannot do X, Y, and Z anymore. And this is to show that she was definitely there for money only.
Yeah.
Because why not secure the bag so we can have this going forward? And you can't come after me no more. You can't kick me out of my own business. You can't blah blah blah. Why not do it the right way? Girl, what do you want him to do?
I just, Mia, I don't know. That's a cold-blooded hoe right there. That's what she is. She like, but I can appreciate her honesty. She's basically like, listen, you know what I came here for. Okay. I don't even never really see her with her children. Like Mia, them kids was just a security blanket. And now
Of course.
a holdback because she like, damn, now I got to really deal with this motherfucker because I decided to have these cheering by him.
And they young kids.
Yeah, little kids.
They young.
He is in his 70s. Like, girl, what? You want this man to parent two little small children? You got you got the game effed up. That's what you got. It's all the way effed up on your end. But she signed up for it. Deal with it. Period.
That's it. Child.
Also, we got to talk about NECA. Now, I'm tired of NECA.
I've been over NECA.
NECA that stuck her neck into. Listen, Giselle and Robin are not your friends. Giselle comes up fakes like, y'all are cool, and she doesn't like you. And that whole Nebe, something. That whole Nebe situation, I almost dropped my phone. Nebe is just trying to be on the show.
Yep.
That's Mia be lying. Carlos called her. He says, and Mia be lying. Yeah. That is funny. But NECA she need to go. Like you invited Wendy over to your house for an unpacking party. Wendy invited you to the Happy Eddie party. Wendy also wants you to get over it. I want you to move on a little bit because y'all are on a show together. Yeah. I get disrespect to your mother, and at the end of the day, ain't nobody gonna come for my mother ever. Okay. But I'm not coming over your house and unpacking your house up. Like that's
not doing that.
Yeah, that's very personal, and I don't really fucking like you. So I'm not coming to unpack your drawers. Girl, what? Stop.
Definitely not doing that. But you know what? I'm not mad at NECA for extending the olive branch. And by saying, hey, let us go talk. Buy ourselves away from the group. I'm not mad at her wanting to take that step. But on the flip side, I'm with you, Wendy. She extended the olive branch.
Right.
Let it go. Let it go, girl. Go and have the conversation. And now at this point, you are becoming the problem.
Yeah. Now you
at first it was easy to put it on NECA, but now it's about to be on you because she came to you, she moved you from the group. Y'all had a one-on-one. It wasn't in front of nobody. For us to have come on, let's go get us a little piece of cheese, a cake or something, and let's dish it out and have a conversation. And for you to sit there and be like, I just don't know. I'm going to have to think. Girl, it's nothing to think about. Come on, Wendy. And I like you, Wendy, but come on.
Not talking to her. You talking around her. And I just, listen, at the end of the day, all the stuff that Giselle did to you, talking about your husband cheating and this, that, and the third, and then you come back the next season hugging her and being her friend, but you still holding a grudge with NECA, somebody you don't even fucking know.
Thank you.
Saying about your mother is not true. Let bygones be bygones. Now you looking like you trying to be a mean girl, and it don't look
Thank
cute.
you. The one thing y'all want to accuse, and this ain't no accuse, because they do it for real. But the one thing y'all calling them out for, you're becoming the same exact thing. When you gonna have to let it go, and we're gonna have to progress the show, girl. Like, come on,
let it go.
Come on. Like, we're gonna move past this.
Right.
I agree. Having her to come over there was probably not a good idea. It should have just been, let's go to happy hour.
But even when they go sit down in the next episode, they're supposed to go sit down and have a talk. And Wendy seems to still have this negative disposition. And NECA was like, well, you said that we skipped a lot of steps. I'm trying to, backtrack, get in line with what you're saying and just kind of see how we can move forward. And she's continuing to tell her that she wants to move forward, but you're not allowing that to happen.
Yep.
It's give and grow up, Wendy. Grow up.
I don't like it, but it's not going nowhere. I guess we'll see what happens. No. But
they really should flip the script and become cool and counter what the Green Eye Bandits was trying to do all along. That would be the smart thing to do.
If they had any sense. And that's on both of them. That's on both of them. They need to definitely link up. But yeah, so what y'all all been waiting for? Yeah. Baby, let's get into the Love of Marriage Huntsville. So let me tell y'all a little piece of backstory. Texting friend, hey friend, we're gonna do the live tonight. Whoop, whoop. She was like, we can talk about whoop, whoop, whoop. And Lexi, I said, who? She was like, Huntsville. I said, what did I miss? The girl was a Lexi on the show? Who is that? So I was like, I have no clue who this person is. Y'all, she sent me the video. Y'all, I am literally 10, 15 minutes in, and I'm just like this. I am going on a whole rant. Like, girl, work. Leave me the heck alone. Girl, sorry for this rant. I don't know what else to say. Who to text it to? I'm like, what are we doing? What is this?
A mess. A mess.
So let's get into it. So I know y'all, excuse me, Lexi is the daughter of the Fletchers. I know y'all know this. Freaking know this. Who is Lexi? So I didn't even know this interview was even out. But I will say this. I would not remove her thoughts of how Chris was as a father. I won't take that away from her because that's her experience. However, where I will side eye Lexi was, Lexi definitely gave a lot of secondhand, third-hand, fourth-hand information, in my opinion. And I think she contradicted herself more than anything as far as spilling the tea. You're 32 years old. And you're saying in one breath that they hate you. Y'all don't have a relationship. You look at your stepfather as your actual father. They never spend birthdays with you. You've only done one Christmas. Then you come back and say, oh, well, we actually did 2 or 3 or 4. You say one thing in the beginning and it changed on the end. But for you not to have a relationship with them, you don't know what is going on with them. But yet here you are telling all of their business. So do you know this to be actual and factual, or are you speaking out of the mouth of your mother and the naysayers that's in Huntsville? Let me giving this is secondhand, thirdhand information.
Lexi was speaking as if she was a scorned woman.
Definitely. But that's why I use those words. Are you speaking out of the mouth of your mother?
Right. She was speaking too much about Chris and his infidelity with his mother and with Nell. And I'm like, as a child, as the daughter, that shouldn't concern you with how he treated these women. I would have liked to hear more about, I was upset because my father didn't come to my recital, or my father, he used to take my little sister on her birthday on dates and never took me. I would not just, I'm just making these things up, but those would be things that I would like to have heard her say. A lot of the stuff that she was saying that he didn't do, and really she didn't even say him, she kept saying Nell.
Thank you.
So she made this whole conversation as if she was his wife that was scorned. You have been manipulated and lived so much through the eyes of your mother that you don't even know how to view this man as
you don't.
And that's the problem. And that's a problem on Chris's end too, because Chris, for her to have this view of you and not be able to get it and place it in the rearview mirror, that lets me know that you didn't really give her the attention that she that she warranted as a child needed. However, Lexi, you're blowing smoke, because I feel like there's a level of her pushing him away too.
Thank you. And that's the part I don't understand. I feel like Lexi, again, you don't live in Huntsville. You don't have a relationship with them. Like, it was blowing my mind. She was like, well, I don't know where all this money came from, because this is real new. They just only been in this house for a decade or a decade and a half.
Girl, that ain't right. 10 years is a little bit of time. Girl.
We've been in a house for 10 years to 15 years new. Oh, they got the house when their daughter was a senior, and all y'all good and wrong. Good and wrong.
She's an idiot. Mind you, you said that you came on the show to talk about your business. You ain't say not a piece of nothing about your business in this interview with Giving You the Real Tea. You didn't say anything about your business. Your whole business or vendetta was to come on this interview and try to make the Fletchers look bad.
That was it.
And that's exactly what your agenda. And the mother, you think you're slick. Ain't nobody, yeah, you in it too. Because it's so convenient that she kept on saying, yeah, I'm over here. My mom, she right over there. My mom, she right over there. Like, that was your way to try to get him to be like, oh, well, let's bring your mother on. And your mother came on there and she did negate some of the stuff that she said, but that was simply strategic. The mother, she got some type of, I feel like the mother has healed from the situation with Chris, because she is married, she has other children, whatever. But I don't doubt that she is a huge piece of all of this turmoil that Lexi has in her spirit for her father. Mm-hmm. And now the mother is healed. There's no turning back for Lexi. Right. And all this built up anguish for him, that even though the mother is moved past it, now it's just become a burden. She's like, damn, well, girl, can you fucking get over it? Because I'm over it now too. Right. But put stuff in your head. But damn, this is just a fucktard. That's what it is.
Yep, I agree. And it's, to me, that's why I started off with, this came out of, you was the mouthpiece for your mother. And you're feeling like you need to give your mother the vindication that she needs because her dad's left. Your mother said that they met in high school. This is not excusing Chris' behavior, right, but we're talking about somebody that was 18, 19, 20 years old. Her mother said that they divorced at 22. They was only married for 2 freaking years, girl.
Right.
Come on now. You're holding on to something as if, and then to say, and this is what really threw me out too. She was like, and Nell was the side chick. I guess she, how do you know what Nell was? If your mother, auntie, sister, uncle, baby, cousin, brother didn't tell you this, please tell me, how do you know who was the side chick? You're getting secondhand information and speaking as if you were there when all the bull crap was going on. You have no right to speak on this infidelity. That interview should have been for the mother and not for Lexi.
She don't know shit. Here's the thing.
Nothing.
The interview could have been for Lexi, but Lexi should have talked about Lexi and
Thank
Lexi's
you.
relationship with her father, not her. The whole time you talking to, again, you are talking as if you were Chris's wife, not Chris's daughter. You are concerned about shit that don't have nothing to do with you. You're not speaking as a person that wants to heal, or
Yep.
even that hate your damn daddy. Tell us why you hate your father.
Yep.
You're saying that he wasn't, in one breath you saying he wasn't there for you, but then you never was. You was there for one Christmas, but then you recount how when you had the kids over there for Christmas, and how you was over there for Christmas, and Miss Nell can cook, she can throw down. I was over there for that cooking. If you Why am I going to eat somebody's food that I don't know?
Thank you.
Don't know so much about this family, but you seem to know that the sister likes to date older men, and that she got sugar daddies, and that little Chris, he's always had issues, and he's spoiled, and this and that, and and Lance had to drop out of school to take care of the bills in the house because Chris was doing this and doing that. But you don't know this family.
Let you tell the girl, you know folks.
You don't even know your brother's middle name, child. You don't know. But you know all these people's teeth. You don't know Nell, but you know that her mama left her to daycare center, and yeah.
You don't know Nell, but you said that her mother was a sweet person.
Right.
How would you know her mother was a sweet person if you were treated like the redheaded stepchild you called yourself? Make it make sense, girl. Come on now.
It's all about the money. That's what it is. I feel like she just needs to admit that. She never talked about the $22,000 and Nell says she gave her to get a car. And my thing is, listen, Lexi, you are very selfish to me, because you also need to think about your other siblings.
Thank you.
Do all this extra stuff for you because your other siblings at your mother's house, they see you pulling up in a Mercedes or all these expensive cars. Now they looking at your mother like, well, why we can't have that?
Right.
Why?
And she kept saying that. And I'm glad she said that, because she was kind of telling on her mama at the same time. When she
Yeah,
would ask things, they said, well, you need to ask your mother. She don't know the conversation that the parents have had.
exactly.
And you don't know if Chris said, I want to buy her blah, blah, blah. And the mama was like, no, don't bring that over here
Exactly.
for these other kids to see. Your mama probably leaving it out, baby, but you don't want to see that part. There's a reason. And again, I'm not saying Chris deserves Dad of the Year award. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not gonna give him that. But I also don't feel like it's fair to put him in a position that you really don't know nothing about. Only thing you know is what your mother told you. And your mother gonna always, and there's anybody in the situation. If me and the person fall out, guess what? I'm gonna say everything to make me look like I was never the problem.
Right.
And it was everybody else but me. What you think your mama did?
Exactly. Your mother was a saint throughout this whole thing. And then you talking about, and then then the mother says, well, me and Lernell, we would get together and get the kids together or whatever. Why would they get the kids together if he is overseas or whatever? If Nell was such a side chick, Nell ain't had no kids at this point. There's an age gap between Kayla, which is, I think Kayla is the oldest and little Chris is the youngest. Kayla and Lexi and Lance, I think they're like 5 or 6 years apart or something like that, because Kayla is in her 20s. So they may be 10 years apart. Who knows? But Lance and Lexi are much older than Kayla and Chris. So for you to say that, oh, Nell got pregnant and this, that, and the third, they had already established this friendship and this whatever. While Chris, I'm believing that Chris was overseas because he was in the military.
Mm-hmm.
And that in order for her to create this relationship with Chris, with Lexi, because the mother did admit that she didn't have her dad in her life. So she wanted to make sure that Chris was able to have a relationship with his daughter. She probably developed a relationship with Lernell so that Nell would not think that, oh, there's something going on between them. So they established a friendship. Lance and Lexi became little siblings or whatever. They're trying to create this tight-knit family situation. So when Chris comes back, it's all good. But that's what it seemed to me from what the mother was saying. But they both try to make it seem like, oh no, Nell was a side chick and Chris was out here sowing his royal oats. It's a lot of holes in the story. A lot of it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it was too all over the place, and for even Lexi to say, "Oh, well, he was still going after my mother." How do you know that your daddy was still going? Here's my thought. I really wish Lexi would have prefaced everything by saying, "My mom said this.
Yeah.
My aunt told me this.
Mm-hmm.
The neighbor that lived next door called me because she saw Nell put, like, you're talking as if you were sitting in the house, as if you can recollect your mind and memory back when you was 3, 4, 5 years old to what, like, girl, stop. Stop.
Mind you, the mother said that she met the stepfather not long after they divorced. So the mother had already moved on. Why haven't you? Why haven't you? Somebody in the comments said Chris Jr. is the oldest. He's 29 and Kayla just turned 25. Okay, so Lexi is 32.
Mm-hmm.
Still, that's a gap. So y'all, they try to make it seem like, oh, Chris was messing around with Nell and she got pregnant.
Right.
Nell wasn't going after this man for 5 years.
Was it?
Like what? This is just.
I didn't care for it at all. And here's another thing that I did not care for when she said, "Oh, I just know that they hate me. They just hate me, and I know this." And if they hate you so bad, when your daddy called you and said, "Hey, why don't you come down here and film a scene?" Why do you say, "I'm sure on that. Y'all have fun. Tell me how it went."
Exactly.
Going nowhere where I feel like somebody hate me, even if it's my own father and siblings and stepmother. Why would I go where I feel like I am hated?
Exactly.
But then want to say I don't want to be on TV. It ain't that much promotion in the world for that, baby. Don't worry about it. Thank you. This is the name of my business. If you just want to say it to help me out, but I'm gonna pass on this.
She
But
ain't saying about that business when she was sitting at that table eating Nell's collard greens. Okay.
And
No,
then you threw a shot. It was cold, but I ate it. Okay, girl. Okay, what are we doing?
girl, her
What
math
are we doing?
is not mathing. Like I said, they apparently got a divorce. She said I think somebody said they got a divorce when she was 18 months. And the mother tried to make it seem like Nell got pregnant while they were still married or something. And that's what, that doesn't make any sense. Because if little Chris is 29, she's 32. That is, I'm not the best in math, but that's like give or take 3-4 years, right? Birthday falls. That indicates that y'all were clearly done. Y'all were married for 2 years. So who's to say that that last year of marriage was the year, you were born, or maybe you were already here? Who knows? The math is just, the timelines and the math is not mathing. That relationship was over. Your mother moved on. Girl, do the same. My problem with her is, don't create issues with Chris and the your kids. Your kids love their grandfather. Let him be a good grandfather. If he wasn't a good father to you,
let him make it up their way.
Let him make it up with his grandchildren, especially if he's not a threat to them. He's not harming them mentally or emotionally. Let him be a grandfather to his grandkids.
And that's another thing. There go another contradiction. Y'all ain't cool, but yet your grandkids and him are. Here's the thing, too. This man came after you when you
Right.
left.
Right.
A person that don't like you, and you can say, "Oh, it was all for TV." The reality is, who you are is gonna always show up. If he didn't give a good doggone and it was just for TV, he wouldn't let you go on about your business.
Right.
Oh, I got it to the table. That's all that matters. He went after you, tried to have a conversation with you, got emotional. Doing both of y'all were emotional the exact same time. What are we doing? Again, you want to make it seem like they ripped you a new one at the table. From what I saw, baby, everybody got the smoke, including Chris. Now we in on everybody.
It was equal opportunity disrespect from Mel.
Thank you. Yeah, this interview with her made it seem like she was the only one who got it from Nell and Chris. Baby, ripped one in Chris Jr. They ripped one in Kiki, whatever her name, whatever the girl name is, that the niece, she can't keep a job. Baby, that was a shot thrown. Cause why? You know, I don't remember saying too much about lands, but everybody got it. Chris, even her husband got it.
Child.
Am I missing something? You're trying to play victim on something like they just zoned in on you and she's feeding them grapes while she cussing you out.
No.
She cussed
Homegirl is mentally unstable, and she even admitted that she has.
she was, yeah.
I don't know how her husband deals with her. I really don't, because she's very much so it's all about me. Do what I say. If you don't do what I want you to do, then I'm going to give you hell. She is just very difficult to deal with from what I'm seeing. And it's just too much. It's too much. Yeah, and you know what? I want to talk about this Angie B, her trying to leave the earth. I feel like she brought that up because people had so much sympathy for little Chris. So I feel like she talked about that to create sympathy for herself. She's like, oh, so sad with Chris, but he wasn't sad for me. You know, and try to make Chris look bad because Chris was emotional when in that moment with Chris. And why are you so hell-bent on trying to make your father look terrible?
Right. And here's my thing. You done got it out here. You done told the tea. Now what? That's the question I always ask when these family members go against each other by telling the deepest, darkest secrets. Now that you done got it off your chest, where do we go from here?
Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here?
What did you solve? How did it fix? Was this supposed to make it better? Because I think you fractured the relationship even more. I don't get it. And for you to bring up that he been cheating with multiple women, and your mother had to say allegedly, because girl, you don't know that to be true. Again, here you are talking and giving secondhand, third-hand information.
But what do that got to do with him being your father?
In that part, what do this have to do with the price of tea and chai?
Crazy. Did we not?
So Shirley says, so nobody saw Nell say to Lexi, shut the blank up. Did we not see Lexi look to her father, Chris, for help? Come on now, y'all. So that's why I said what I said. She got in everybody's tail.
Yeah.
Chris didn't help out Chris Jr. Chris didn't help out Kiki, whatever the girl. She didn't help nobody.
No.
Chris got cussed out.
It was an equal opportunity tongue lashing from Nell, manicured Nell. She was getting, everybody got it. Okay. Now, do I think that Chris should have stood up for everybody? Yeah. Lexi is not she's not like top tier. Oh, we gotta defend Lexi because she's the oldest.
Yeah.
No, he should have defended everybody. He should have said,
Mm-hmm.
all right now, honey, is you got to pipe down a little bit because you over here yelling at the kids.
Right.
There's definitely a better way to handle this. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Like they have a whole scene with little Chris breaking down because of how Nell talks to him.
Correct.
Not just about Lexi.
Mm-hmm.
She may have said shut the hell up, Lexi, but she told somebody else to shut the hell up in that
She
scene.
did. She
So it was just like
do it. This is my thought when it comes to Lexi. And I can be fair. Chris probably did drop the ball. We'll say that.
mm-hmm.
But I don't think it's just as black as white as Lexi is trying to make it seem. I think it's a lot of gray area in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a lot of gray that she don't want to acknowledge. And as long as you're going on the heels of my mama said, you're going to forever be in a fractured relationship.
Yeah.
You're forever going to be in one. And I think that you should have used this opportunity to say, Daddy, I want to make this work. How can we fix it? You know,
right.
Why didn't you take that route? But you did.
Chris make more initiative too, because
Yeah.
it is difficult. It's probably very difficult. And not to say that he hasn't, okay? I don't know that, but we will see that new season comes on. They're going to talk about it then. And I can appreciate them actually talking about it then, because why am I going to do interviews with people and I'm not getting paid for that right now?
Yeah.
Put on the show.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like to see when the show comes back, Chris making more of an effort, because I've been in situations where the child is difficult. I don't want to talk to my father. I don't want to do this. I have a friend. I talked about it in my video that I did talking about this interview. He has tried and tried and tried, and it had become difficult for him. But he said, I'm going to keep on trying because this is my child, you know. Like that's what Chris needs to do. Even though Lexi is being a whole chore and a B-I-E-I-E-I, he needs my kid. I'm going to hear her out, and no matter what it takes. But then you get to a point as a grown man that it's like, if she gonna keep on pushing me away,
yep,
for so much a person can take as well.
And even to go as far, because now I went on Instagram before our live started, and Original Straight No Chaser posted on her Instagram page about how Chris was dating or messing with a underage girl. So we know that Lexi alluded to it a little bit, and she was like, well, we already know what happened with that, but I'm not going to say it out of respect of my niece. Well, you already said it.
Of what niece?
I don't know. But she didn't want to talk about it. I don't know. But now all of this stuff is going to be drudged up. And again, you're talking about an affair and an infidelity that happened when you were 6 years old.
Right.
Not even to your mama at that. Let's start there. Not even the infidelity did not even happen to your mother. It happened to the wicked witch of the West that you want to keep talking about.
I think Lexi's anger is pushed towards Nell because Nell was the cash cow. Nell was the one that held the key to the purse. And she feels like her brothers and sisters got all this stuff and she didn't get any of it. But the real mother was probably blocking a lot of that stuff because she didn't want her to be materialistic. Or she talked about how, you know, she did really well in school and her parents, her stepfather and her mother were all about school. They probably wanted her to focus on that and not all this materialistic stuff.
Yep, I agree.
So you never know what behind the scenes, the type of parenting the mother was orchestrating.
Sure don't.
She's telling you one thing, but having different conversations with Chris and Nell. And girl, stay in the child's place.
But and that's my thing. Even now, because you kept having to reference by you saying they kept telling you, you need to ask your mother. You had to keep referencing that. That's a big deal to me. What was your mother saying to them that they had to tell you? It ain't us holding you back, boo. And
Right.
even you yourself, Lexi, said that they never bashed your mother, never brought her name up, never talked bad about her. If they've never done that, why would Sundell decide to do it today at the dinner? Y'all, you 32 years old. Oh, now at the big age of 31, let's talk about your. What is he or she getting out of talking about your mother 30 some years later, girl?
Exactly.
Like, to me, it just wasn't added up to me.
She full of shit. That's what it is. And again, I don't want to discount her feelings where it comes to her father. I do think that
Correct.
there's of mending that needs
Mm-hmm.
in that relationship. But the mending has to go where it has to start with her not lying.
Mm-hmm.
Honest with herself. Stop talking about Nell. Stop talking about your brothers and sisters. Talk about your father. He is the anchor to all of these other individuals that you have so much smoke for. You ain't say nothing about Chris. You didn't give off any of what you were missing from your dad. You just kept talking all this shit and trying to put people down, and that's not that. I wasn't checking for that. I wasn't.
Yeah. She also said Nell wouldn't allow Chris to be alone with you as a child. They have me imply pedo vibes as well.
Let me say this. I don't think Chris is a pedophile. I don't. I don't get that. I don't get that Nell would be with somebody that would do that, especially. And I think that that's strategic to try to make them look bad because they care center, and that's really messed up for them to be trying to. I don't know if like I said, I watched Wednesday Talks, and we were on the same page with. I feel like there's some behind the scenes stuff going on because the Fletchers, I don't think people were expecting the Fletchers to like take off like this.
Correct.
All the Scotts are probably got their little panties in a bunch, and they probably really trying to push them to the forefront so nobody will talk about all of their shit. But then they're seeing, oh wait, we don't want to push them to the forefront too much because then we'll get phased out. So now we gotta try to, yeah, you can stay in the limelight, but we're gonna make you look bad. We don't want you to be in the limelight for what you were before and people are liking you. We want you to be in the limelight because you got all this drama going on.
Mm-hmm.
Hear all this little shit in the background. This is just alleged, and in my opinion, that I think that that's what's going on. But I think that, oh, let's contact Lexi and her mom and tell the real story.
Mm-hmm.
Bullshit. I don't think.
Yeah, I agree. To me, Nell is very high strung. Y'all know I'm here for Miss Nell, baby. Y'all, that's my girl. So Nell is very high strung, but I don't feel like Nell would allow her children or even his kids to be around a person that is like that. Especially how she gadded his tail about cheating, and it to me it just don't make sense. But
No.
let me show y'all this real quick. Let me know if y'all see it. It is
Mm-hmm.
really tiny.
Yeah.
So I am going to read it. So it says, "Hey there, are y'all ready for some juicy gossip? Meet Native Queen, blah blah blah." So it comes all the way down to where is it? Scheduled cheating challenge that cost him his career right now 5 to 2 years. Can you believe it? Oh crap. Well, there y'all go. Chris Fletcher the pedo.
Wow.
That is her. I was trying to read it, but I guess it's a real. Um,
Mm. That's a huge accusation.
and I think it's too big. And that's some dangerous games type stuff.
Yeah.
That's dangerous to say that, and to put that out there, when you really don't have anything to back that up with. And in that thing, y'all go over there to her page to see it. She's referencing giving you the real tea interview because she did kind of bring it up, but she didn't say enough for, in my opinion, to be taking this and running with it.
Yeah.
In
You
my opinion,
you gonna risk getting your ass sued because
yeah,
that stuff right there, that's not cute. It's not funny. you messing up. You're potentially fooling with somebody's livelihood because
Right.
work so closely with children.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get that. I mean, not to say that a lot of pedos give off pedophile energy, but I don't see that. I don't see Nell
Right.
staying with Chris if that was the case. I
Mm-hmm.
classic situation of, oh, she told me she was 21 and she was 17.
Mm-hmm.
And that could have been a long time ago.
So, yep.
We don't know when this happened. So
And we don't. And again, that's my biggest issue. You're talking as
yeah,
if you know what happened and what was going on. Like that is crazy to me.
yeah. I don't believe it. I think this is just a pure way to try to make them look bad. Even this whole side chick with nail stuff. Honestly, we don't they've been married for what, 30 years? Who gives a shit?
What again? And that's what I've been saying. Even when the show wrapped up, I said I hope they don't make this a storyline for something that happened 20 some years ago. Baby, we ain't got to go back down this road. Why
Stupid.
going back down memory lane? And the same thing with you, Lexi. You're harping on this as if he got put out the house 2 years ago. This happened in 2018. Girl, what are you doing?
Exactly. And people kept saying, and then let me say this before I say that. So Lexi, why are you so concerned about him getting put out for 2 years and mad at Nell? Like, your father was the one that was doing whatever. If anything, if Nell was such a bad person and trying to keep him away from you, you should have been glad that she put him out.
But
You
not
should.
only that,
That's a way for us to be closer because now he not with her.
your mother, when she spoke, said that she was meeting him halfway.
Right.
So they can continue to have a relationship. So they can woo 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 blah blah blah. You mean to tell me that if he was out here doing the alleged, your mother finna ready push you off to him like that?
Exactly. Girl, full of crap. But I saw a lot of people saying that Lexi is a view of the Eminem kids. It's different. It's different because
Wait, they said what?
Lexi is the future, is basically the current state of what the future Eminem kids will look like. Like basically
I
how
don't agree.
look, I don't agree either because
Mm-mm.
first of all, they have all this documentation on the internet of how their father came about.
Mm-hmm.
That is documented on the internet, YouTube, and everywhere else that he was the culprit in all of this. He cheated on their mother, and they've been getting therapy. Obviously, a good therapist. Lexi said she's been going to therapy. She need to get a new one. She needs
Talk
to get
about
a new.
for 10 years. Girl, where? Because this sounds very much hurt, anger, and bitter all at the same
Yeah,
time, baby.
it's team too much.
Fire him or her at this point.
Yeah, let you got, yeah, you got a lot built up inside you. You got to let go. So yeah, I don't think the Eminem kids will be anything like Lexi. I think that they will. Mel is their mother, so she isn't over. She doesn't strike me as over there talking shit about their daddy in front of them. I feel like Martell probably doing that with her, and then you got the side chick around them, and
Yep.
they have an image of a kid as they're young, and their life changed upside down. You were a baby. You didn't see any of it. They're older, so they
Their
have
part.
to remember what's happening. So I don't really think it's the same thing. I do think that the Eminem kids are going to have a level of pissed
Resentment.
and ups and anguish and
Mm-hmm.
anger towards their father for what he's done and what he continues to do to their mother.
So speaking of the Eminem kids, there's a great way for us to segue right on into Mr. Martel Holt, hunty.
Hmm?
Yeah, so it is being put out in the articles by US Sun. Shout out to Empress Radio. I actually came across her video when I saw. Well, let me take this back. I actually saw Scotty was live earlier, and I came in on the very tail end of his live. But as soon as I got off, I saw Empress, and she was talking about it. And I went and pulled the article, so y'all can go over there and read the article at the US Sun. And they're pretty much talking about how Martell is having to have a psych evaluation because of his erratic behavior, and how he is accused of, and allegedly, I'm gonna have to say allegedly, where's the banner? The banner up none this show.
That's okay. It's up before it's over.
They know the banner. But definitely, allegedly he is being the children. So that was in the article. It's also coming out that how he don't want the kids to be on the show, but of course y'all know they're going back to court over that. And in the article, it is listed as he would have the kids on the show if he was able to do corporal punishment on the show. But since he cannot do corporal punishment on the show, he don't want the children on the show. It's being alleged that he said that he's going to tear their butt up when it's all over with. So there's a lot of allegations being said of words to their children. And now they're calling Martell out and saying that he has erratic behavior and he freaking needs some psych. He needs to go and get himself checked out. Now, this is my thought when it comes to this. I'm always on the side of better late than never. Now, I hate that it took us 35 years to get this point, but how to the ever, at least we arrived to the point. And do I feel like Martell is being those children? I don't know. I'm not in the folks' household. I'm not going to put that out there because I do feel like it's a strong allegation. So I leave that for the people to make their own assumptions or whatever, right? Do I feel like he's overly mean and run like this militant household? Probably. And I do think that if mom is very laxy daisy and daddy is very militant, I think it can be like confusing and looking a certain way. If Mel is doing, gentle parenting and Martell isn't. So I kind of see where it can kind of be that way. I'm not going to say that because that's a strong allegation, but we will say allegedly. Martell has been showing his hand for years.
Yeah.
For years. So I'm not shocked at this coming out. Like I said, I'd rather us get to there late than not get there at all. But what are your thoughts?
I feel like Martell he is mentally unstable, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. I think that Martell will do whatever to get back at Mel. And if AB and children isn't a part of that, he will do that. The fact that you got on a platform and insinuated that your youngest child was not yours without you insinuated that I would believe that you would do anything at this point. And anytime you allegedly have your kid go and get your ex-wife's credit card out of her purse and copy down the numbers off of it, you will do anytime you tell the kids, I'll give you treats if you tell me what your mama is doing. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I don't put nothing past the person that's doing like that. You recorded yourself. You recorded you telling your oldest daughter, making her give an account of something that happened with Melody. Yes, I think that you would do anything. Mm-hmm. And you need to be evaluated, because anybody that is willing to go above and beyond to hurt somebody as much as you want to hurt Mel, those kids will be innocent bystanders of it. Mm-hmm. So, and whatever happens to Martell in a negative light in this manner is all because of him.
I agree.
Doing.
I definitely agree with that. And let me say to make it clear, because we have to be careful about certain things, I'm just not going to outright say that he is being the children. So that's why I'm prefacing my words a certain way.
Yeah.
Okay, so I definitely want to make that clear. That's just my how we have to move a certain way on the YouTubes, okay? Um, but with that being said, I do feel like he do know that. I feel like he maybe don't know this, but he would his children would definitely have a lot of resentment towards him. Even little Noxie. I don't care how many times he see him and his daddy and his mom together, the resentment is still going to be there in
Right.
some shape, form, or fashion. And I hope, this is a hope, that the five kids do not have a strained relationship because they didn't ask to be put in this position. You
No,
know, despite who their daddy is and despite who he had decided to have a baby with, I hope that this does not have a strain on their relationship because of
you got to be pretty mentally unstable to walk into a courtroom and say, and this is, I mean, in my opinion, if he did do this is silly. You walk into a courtroom and say, oh yeah, they can't be on TV unless I can whoop them.
dumb. But we know he's stupid though.
Nothing past somebody. I can't say what a person like that would do.
I agree.
I don't put it past him. I think he would. I listen. I don't know what the man would do. He's unhinged
Mm-hmm.
at this point. Again, he will do whatever to hurt Melody.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, if that is a source of it and that will hurt her, I don't doubt that he would do it because that's how crazy this man has shown himself to be.
Mm-hmm.
From my view.
Yeah, I agree. And I feel like, again, the same question we asked Lexi, I'm going to ask Martell. Okay, now that you're doing this, now what?
Now what?
Where do you go from here? Because your youngest that you have with Melody, how old is Sugar Mama? 3?
I think she's 4 now.
Oh, well, okay, 4 years. Oh, baby, y'all got a long way to go.
Mm-hmm.
Long way to go. And even when she turned 18, that don't stop you from being a parent.
Exactly.
It don't stop you from parenting your child, especially if she goes out to college, get married. You're still her father. So you're talking about something that is y'all have longevity and this is the route you want to take.
Mm.
To me, it's crazy. Like, I don't understand who's in Martell corner and telling him, "Oh, bro, that's a good idea. You should go over there and say that."
That's the thing. I don't think anybody is doing that. The problem is that people are not stopping him from doing the stuff that he's doing. Nobody on that cast is telling him that this is inappropriate and we're not going to stand for it. Y'all sit up here on these different casts on these reality TV shows and band together over stupid shit, but you can't band together to stop somebody from mentally, emotionally, and publicly um, trying to abuse AB his ex-wife. Y'all are
Mhm.
all trauma bonding together because Mel is not there to be y'all whipping board anymore. So
Yeah.
now you band together to help him to make her look crazy. Y'all never apologized to her for helping this man cheat on her. You never did any of that. Y'all never stopped him from being disrespectful to her. None of that.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all all on the internet. They all on the internet. Y'all see all this stuff that he doing with these children. Y'all don't never check this man.
Never.
He don't have nobody around him telling him that this is crazy. Everybody pumping him up in his bullshit. And I'm sick of
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? For him to want to come out here and make himself like he's just this upstanding guy, him going over there doing an interview was probably the worst thing he probably could have done.
oh yeah.
Because Melody can take this right on to the court that they have, the court case they have in April. Like, this was the dumbest thing you could have done. You thought you ate going over there with Tasha. You thought that this was going to be this big, huge thing and everybody turned on her and it made it worse for you. It didn't go the way neither one of y'all planned it to go.
Now he about to be clinically diagnosed as a narcissist.
Literally. Or bipolar. He gonna be clinically diagnosed with a whole bunch of stuff.
Exactly. And congratulations, you played yourself.
Did. You played yourself right on into jail. You played yourself into, now you're gonna have to have possibly allegedly visitation, supervised visitation, because you out here doing dumb stuff. Bruh, she left you because you couldn't keep your pig in the pants. Get over it.
Mm-hmm.
Get over it. And if you really love your children as much as you say, if you really this good father, like you say you are, why won't you be to the point to where the mother and you can have a good co-parenting relationship and y'all going on about y'all business? And we done with it.
Because he's a fool. So there's that. I really hope that it's really sad for the kids.
I agree.
It's really unfortunate. And then it's sad for Mel too, because you gotta keep going to court with this man over and over again over the same silly stuff. It's just it's draining financially and physically, emotionally, mentally. It's too much.
Yeah. It's too much.
He's got to be stopped.
He got to. And I know most people don't like to say, I hope you get full, custody, but I think in a way, until he really go get some real help, put away the anger and whatever displaced anger that he have, maybe she should have the kids full term until he go and do the work.
Yeah.
And when it's shown that he's done the work, whoop de whoop, blah blah blah. Now let's go back into we 7 days on, 7 days off, because you did what you needed to do, and not just so it can show good on paper, but show good for real, because you're really living this way. So I don't know. I think it's okay for her to go and get them kids full time until he go do what he needs to do. Because even if he's not ABing them physically, a mental and emotional AB is just as bad.
Yeah, and he needs to understand that the stuff that he's doing, he is creating an environment that where people are looking at him like you're not stable for the children. Mm-hmm. Because for you to do XYZ with your end goal of just making their mother look bad, he never accepts responsibility for anything that he's doing. His ultimate goal is his image. Mm-hmm. And he's still tarnishing that at every turn.
Making it worse.
And at the end of the day, okay, let us all say, okay, yeah, Mel cheated too. Cool. Now, all right, Mel cheated too. You still don't have your builder's license. You still not making no money. You still ain't doing shit with yourself. So you proving Mel cheated and that Mel is just as terrible as you are ain't made you no money.
Ain't did nothing.
Yeah.
The stock did not go up. Like nothing happened. Okay, you got it out there. You got it off your chest. My question will always be, now what? Now what we doing?
Crazy.
Do you feel better about yourself, sir, now that you've gotten this off? Because what you're doing, sir, is being televised. Mm-hmm. So your children can pull this up at any moment and look at it. Like, are you even looking at the longevity that this is going to have? Because, baby, when it's on the internet, in the words of Cardi B, baby, it's on there forever. It's there. It ain't going nowhere. I don't care how much money you pay to scrub the internet. Somebody already got it filed and put it on in the cloud somewhere and can pull it up at any moment.
And he can say editing all day. No amount of editing will edit up what you are doing. And you can go beyond the show and do extra interviews to try to make yourself look like a fool.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm all for the evaluation.
I think it definitely should happen. I'm definitely on the side of he do not need to come back this season.
No.
More so because he don't have a storyline. Let's just say this background stuff wasn't even happening. Let's just say none of this was happening. You're bringing nothing to the show.
No.
But because all of this bull crap is going on and you going to jail, you know, because you have a hatred for your ex-wife so much that you still don't need to be on the show. Because why would you go this low to prove what point?
Exactly.
At the end of the day, this your kid's mother.
Mm-hmm.
Your kid's mama.
Yep.
You wouldn't want nobody to do that to Miss Merlane.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
So, I want to read this. So Marcel did check, I think you meant Martell, in season 4 or so when Mariah was crying. He told Martin to stop it because 50 years from now, he will be still explaining. I agree with that. I remember when they was at the office that they once shared, but now, you know, Melanie ended up taking the office. And she didn't want to leave.
Mm-mm.
And it took Marceau to tell him, let her go back in there with her mama. Let her mama soothe her, get it together. Once everything calmed down, then you take them off. But Martell don't want to listen. Now, let me say this about Marceau. Marceau is definitely on the side of he'll take care of his own kids. So I felt like it was half of he was doing the right thing, and I think the other half was let the mama handle it. You know.
Yeah, because Marcel.
I don't know if it was fully rooted in him being a good friend. Huh.
Yeah, Marcel don't know what to do with no children because he don't
Yeah.
even his own. He don't do nothing with his own damn kids. So,
Yeah.
child, please.
But that's it, y'all. We have made it to the 2-hour mark. Thank y'all for rocking with us, all 109 of y'all in the chat. I appreciate it. I
Yes.
want y'all to hit the like button.
Y'all better.
I'm just saying. Okay. All right, you guys. But that is all we had. This was a really good conversation because y'all was over here chatting up with us, and we like this having a conversation. We are here for it. Okay, so y'all make sure y'all know we're gonna do it all over again next Tuesday. So stay tuned. Fred, any last words?
Marcel, just go to jail already. Just go. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Just bye.
I
Bye.
agree.
Y'all, please let Love at Marriage Huntsville go till June when they come back. Let's let it burn. Let's let it burn. We got to let it go. The show is off air. Let it be off air until it come back. Okay? Because I need a break. We need a
Fred
break.
said June. I'm more like the September.
It comes back in September.
I said Fred said June, but I'm more like September. No, we don't need
Oh, I'm just going up what the people said. I think they said the show come back in June, child. I don't know. But it probably gonna come back sooner than that. Who knows? That seemed like a long time for them.
Yeah.
I don't know. But that's all. Thank y'all for watching. And yeah, come on back around here. You hear?
That's it, y'all. Y'all be sure to like the video. If y'all not following us, be sure to go ahead and do that. We enjoyed y'all. We'll see you guys, and we'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.